What's up YouTube? It's Ebelvoy and today I'd like to talk about another watch of mine. And yes, as you can see, I did it. I got myself a Rolex watch. Ever since my last watch review, which featured a watch in Rolex-like design, I was thinking you'd want to have a Rolex. It's the benchmark and all. But of course the prices are really high. I wasn't sure if one single watch is worth so much money. But one day I decided to go to a Rolex dealer and check out some of these watches out. I also put some pressure on myself because Rolex's yearly increase in price was imminent, according to the watch community forums at least. It turned out that I could have waited 2 more months, but I was way too excited to take the risk of paying about 10% more just for hesitating, and so I finally ended up with what you see here. And this is the Rolex Milgauss, reference number 116400GV. GV standing for the French glace verte, which means green crystal. There's also a white dial version as well as a black dial version with a regular crystal available. The Milgauss, as most Rolex watches, has a professional background, as it was developed for engineers and scientists who have to deal with strong magnetic fields. The case contains a magnetic shield made of ferromagnetic alloys to withstand a magnetic flux density of 1000 Gauss. Not that I may ever need it though. The name Milgauss derives from this feature, as mil is the French word for 1000 and Gauss is the unit of measurement for magnetic flux density. Let's continue with the measurements. The case diameter is 40 millimeters without the crown. Lug width is 20 millimeters. This particular watch has a weight of 153 grams, but this of course depends on how many links you use for the bracelet. The case is made of 904L stainless steel, which Rolex uses for all their stainless steel watches, and has a polished finish. The case bottom is a little exception in the Rolex line, as it has some lettering saying Rolex Oyster, describing the case type, and Milgauss for the model name, as well as the crown logo. The winding and setting crown is a twin lock crown, which can be recognized by the small line under the crown logo, which makes the watch water resistant up to 100 meters. The dial is black with orange and white hour markers with white gold borders and orange and white minute seconds markers. The lettering says Rolex Oyster Perpetual Milgauss in the 12 o'clock position, and the superlative chronometer officially certified in the 6 o'clock position, meaning that the movement has passed the COSC certification test for accuracy. Most noticeable, besides the green sapphire crystal of course, is probably the lightning bolt shaped orange seconds hand, one of the features that appeal to me the most. The Oyster style bracelet is also made of 904L steel with all solid links. The middle links are polished, the side links have brushed finish with polished sides. The bottoms are in a brushed finish too. The links are held together by screws. It's a bit hard to see. There you go. The Oyster clasp is made of milled parts and has several features for fine adjusting the length. First, there are 3 positions inside the clasp for positioning the spring bolt. Then there's the so-called Easy Link Comfort Extension Link, which can be used to change the bracelet length by 5 millimeters without any tools needed. I'm going to show you. The movement is Rolex's own 3131 self-winding movement, which is based on the 3130 movement found in the Subnote 8 in the Explorer with an anti-magnetic hairspring in the oscillator. Speaking of oscillations, this movement makes 28,800 semi-oscillations per hour, which makes the seconds hand move very smoothly. Of course, the question comes up if the watch is worth the money. No and yes. Of course, this watch has very few features. There's no date, no stopwatch, it's only showing the time, but it is a Rolex, probably the most well-known watch brand in the world, so there is a certain myth to it, and Rolex of course knows that, and they make you pay for it. So I guess everybody has to decide for themselves if it's worth the money. It was worth it for me, and I don't regret spending it. But let me tell you this, if you consider buying a Rolex watch, don't hesitate, because they are only getting more expensive every year. Okay, that's it for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos, and if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to put out videos on a regular basis. Thanks again, and see you around.